Canada's economy is hitting the rocks. Well, it's been hitting the rocks for a while now.
Canada's economy is hitting the rocks. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the
digging into the ground now.
No matter how you slice it, things are not going well for the Canadian economy. Maybe you saw the jobs report that came out Friday morning. Bad numbers there. Maybe you heard the comments from Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem on Thursday. Again, bad news there. Or the report from Fitch Ratings saying that the out-of-control spending by the federal government, including the extra promises by the Carney Liberals during the election campaign, is going to continue to put pressure on Canada's credit ratings. All of this to say things are not going well for the Canadian economy. Now, part of this can be blamed on the Trump tariffs, but that's not the whole story.
Come on. The President Trump's tariffs are just the tip of the iceberg. Like, the economy wasn't strong before President Trump was even elected. Like, what are we talking about? The economy went downhill since COVID? I mean, probably even before, but since COVID, that's when we really felt it. Like, last 3 years, the prices of groceries doubled pretty much. Housing doubled. Like I was saying this example, right? I just had to renew my insurance on the house, and I'm paying 3 times as much as before. And you know why? Because apparently my house value went up, which would be great, but I didn't do any renovations or anything, so it's not like the quality of my house is better. So the value of my house went up. Not only that it went up, the insurance right now is looking at the average price of rebuilding the house, but not the average price of the rebuilding the house in the location where I live, but I'm pretty much 1 hour away from the capital city of my province, right? So it's looking at the price of rebuilding house in that capital city. So now I'm paying 3 times as much, and I have nothing to show for it. It's ridiculous, and that happened before even President Trump was elected. Like, what are we talking about? It's ridiculous. Like, the tariffs are just the tip of the iceberg. I don't really think we as normal people feel it yet, unless you're buying a car or unless you work in the automobile industry. Then in that case, I'm very sorry for you. I mentioned it before. I work for one of the railways, and we have some assignments that go to these automobile plants in Ontario. And since the tariffs, we don't have that many of them anymore. So yeah, the automobile industry is definitely affected by tariffs.
And Bank Governor Tiff Macklem was warning about that in his report, saying, medium term, this could have long-lasting effects.
A prolonged global trade war would have severe economic consequences. It would reduce growth and increase unemployment. This could, in turn, have important ramifications for the financial system. With debt still at high levels, some households and businesses may be unable to keep up with payments. If loan losses occur on a large enough scale, banks could cut back on lending in response. This would exacerbate the economic downturn and put more pressure on businesses and households.
But that's only part of the story. We have to acknowledge that the Canadian economy has been weakening for some time.
Yeah, here we go.
The jobs report that came out Friday showed an unemployment rate of 6.9%. That's up from 6.7% last month. Compare that to a year ago, though, we were at 6.1%. April of 2023, we were at 5%. We've been facing a weakening economy for some time. In this latest jobs report, we lost 31,000 manufacturing jobs. The only reason it was not worse is that, well, there were 37,000 public administration jobs. Many of them...
I know some people will blame this on AI. It's not AI. Trust me, it's not AI. I worked in 2023 for 2 months, kind of the job between jobs. I worked in the coal mine, and in one of the mines, they tried to replace the haul truck drivers by pretty much AI, right? What happened is that they had to hire extra people to keep an eye on AI, because AI was kind of limited. It didn't have the same perception as humans. Like, it stopped in front of the small rocks because it wasn't sure if it can drive over or no. There was like a rule of thumb: if the rock is as big as your helmet, then you're not able to drive over it. But if it's smaller, no issues, right? Because you don't want to puncture the tire. Those tires are huge. And AI just wasn't able to recognize if it's big enough or no. So what they end up having is this big haul truck that were driven by AI, and then small pickup truck behind them just keeping an eye on that haul truck. So I don't really think AI is to blame for this unemployment rate yet. Eventually, I believe the AI will help one person to do the job of 4 people, right? Let's say, as an example. But right now, I don't think we're in that situation yet. And thank God we're not, because the situation we're at right now, if we add the AI into the mix, not good. Not good for Canadians.
Them part-time, temporary jobs due to the election, meaning we'd have a much worse jobs report if it wasn't for government hiring. That is not a sign of a healthy economy. That's a sign of an economy in decline. We need to turn things around. Mark Carney says he's good in a crisis. He says he knows the economy. We better hope so, because things are headed in the wrong direction. And they have been for a while, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
Part of the reason that Justin Trudeau and his Liberal Party were so unpopular is because of the deteriorating economy. And you know what? We were headed in a different direction until the Liberals suddenly decided, let's change the guy at the top. We're stuck with the same policies, it seems. We're stuck with the same people around Carney. We just have someone new at the top. Is that going to be enough to change the economy, to turn things around? Seems doubtful at this point, but all the things are headed in the wrong direction. We need to see real action from this government. And all we're getting so far is the promise of a continuation of policies that will strangle the Canadian economy and increase spending, which will, as mentioned, downgrade our credit ratings. Things are not looking up right now. We need a change. We should have had a change on April 28th. Voters decided otherwise. Let's hope that the people in charge see the error of their ways and change their policies. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Share this on social media.
So what I think Mark Carney actually is behaving very surprisingly right now. It's different than what we expected. It kind of looks like he gave up on his promises. I don't trust him. Don't get me wrong. I don't trust him a single word. What I think is now he's being threatened by Alberta, thinking about the referendum to being separate, right? Or to separate from Canada, which would be doomsday for Canada. Not only that, it would mean that probably Sask and maybe British Columbia would have a referendum as well. And in that case, there's nothing left from Canada. Like, these are the provinces that are rich, that are sending the welfare payments to the rest of the Canada. And now with automobile industry impacted by tariffs from US, like oil and gas and coal, that's pretty much all you guys have. So anyway, I think that's why Mark Carney is trying to calm people down, trying to deal with the crisis, trying to work with other premiers more. And I think he's going to do it for about 6-12 months, or until the public opinion gets better, until the morale will get better, until the fire in Alberta is kind of extinguished, until he kind of gives us all hope that it's not going to be as bad. And then I think he's going to bring the hammer down, bring the carbon tax again, trying to go to net zero and all of it. But yeah, I hope I'm wrong about it. I really hope, because no one wants the Prime Minister to fail. No one wants Liberals to fail. Like, yes, we did not vote for them, but they're in charge of Canada. So if they fail right now, Canada will fail as well, and we cannot do anything about it. So I really hope I'm wrong about this.